if we wanted to scale 10 times in 2026, if we wanted to scale 10 times in 2023, we would go back in the archives, but it is 2026. So if we want to scale 10 times this year, here's some things that I would cut out.
Okay, let's hear it.
Cancel this out, because this is what we're going to stop doing immediately, okay? You're going to be knocking off these myths, like more hustle equals more money, like you have to grind for everything for yourself, and that you got to be everywhere to win, things like that. We cutting out, okay? This is Making Moguls. This is your host, Sir Vijano Alexander. This is somewhere between 7 and 8, so you know what that means. This is the Making Mogul Hour.
It's a fact. It's your girl, Dime. That's Dime with a Y.
Not an I.
Not an I.
Get it right.
And in the background, we got the baby boys yelling and screaming, but we gonna get through it.
Listen, she's telling us exactly what we need to cut out for 2026. Okay,
yes.
Listen. They say the youth knows best. Okay, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start the show a little differently. It's 2026. We gotta improve. We gotta try new things. You're gonna try new things with us. So let's get into this, because I don't want to waste no time. Let's get into this value. You here with us, Sir Vijano Alexander. It is Dime, Making Mogul. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get into this. First things first. For all my creatives out there, for all my entrepreneurs out there that's joining us in 2026, thank you for being here. This is Making Moguls, your podcast about get into the bag, get into real gems to help you improve your craft, improve your business, and really step into the real mogul who you are. Because what we do is you either win with us
or you watch us win.
And that's what we do on Making Moguls, okay? So as I said, today's episode is about stepping into 2026 by eliminating some things. Eliminating these myths that's been floating around in the industry, and we're really going to tackle them, all right?
The crazy thing is a lot of them are things that you would think that it's really what people think on a regular basis.
Yeah, and a lot of these things, you know, we fell for back in the day when we wasn't moguls, you know?
Yeah.
But we're going to show y'all how it really develops, all right? So the first thing, I'm going to jump into this.
Okay.
Myth number 1, right? More hours equal more money.
Oh, my gosh.
So now, let's talk about this.
So more hours equals more money. So obviously that's not true. Unless you're in a job mindset, then obviously the more hours you do, the more money you make.
But you can't ask for a job mindset, because we here on Making Moguls,
exactly.
not making employees.
That's the only time that model works, right? So the goal is that you create systems and you plan out your business and your brand and everything that you have to do in a way where you don't have to put in more work to get the results that you need, right? You want to work more efficiently, smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Right?
And the thing about it is, you know, we all fell for that. You know, I could tell you about myself, you know, early on in the years, you know, when you first getting in, you're getting all these opportunities. Yeah, you vamp life in.
Team no
Yo,
sleep.
you know who set me up? Meek Mill. Meek Mill used to set me up with this Dream Chasers. We don't sleep. I'm up till 4 in the morning. You could check my Twitter. And I was told I'm on Twitter too. You could see I'm up 5 in the morning. I'm grinding. No sleep. We up. And I'm just like, wait, I'm burning myself out on two ends of the. Don't do that, people. It's 2026. There's way too many automations, way too many avenues to make your business run efficiently. There's way too many systems to be sitting here hustling 1 + 1 + 1. Okay, It just, again, the first part is to break out of that hourly mindset, to break out of where your time equals your money. Okay,
Right.
In business, it's your ideas. It's your story. It's your branding. It's your offer that makes you your money. It's your value that makes you the money, not the time you put in. Because, yes, you do need to invest the time. I'm not saying you don't put in the proper amount of time. But it is not going to equal. And that's one thing you're definitely going to learn as an entrepreneur. Sometimes putting in more time will just burn you out faster, and you'll get less out of what you thought. Because now you're spreading yourself. There's a lot of things that happen with that. But I really want to, we're going to start right there. Less is more for 2026. Yeah. I was about to say less is more for 2024 because it rhymes. Yeah, but I don't even know what year we in anymore.
Obviously.
I don't even know.
Obviously, he doesn't.
Call it the Mandela effect, okay?
But yes, we are not working more hours in order to make more money. We are improving our systems. We're improving our plan. And we're bettering our offers in order to make more money.
And second part of that, real quick, boundaries. Say no. Gosh. Say no.
Stop yelling at me.
My bad, not you. But I'm yelling at you because I'm yelling at me too.
Yelling at me.
Say no. Say no. Say no. Because just because somebody got a good opportunity for you in this moment, it sounds good. If you have too much on your plate, it is never going to be good, no matter how good it is, because you're not going to be able to perform optimally. You're not going to be able to show up 100% if you have too many things pulling away your attention.
Right.
Right now, I only have two things on my attention. This and the little boss lady. And I can focus just fine. If somebody walked in right now and was like, yo, I got $1 million for you, I'm going to have to say no because I can't show up 100%.
It's okay because I got his back and his front with that million.
With that million. She going to handle that. I got this right now. You feel me?
Through the door.
I'm locked in. So that's the first one. And now we're going to get into the second myth. What kind of piggybacks on the first myth?
Okay.
And it's the myth of you have to grind on everything yourself, okay? We killing that in 2026, okay? Because first and foremost,
we talk about that so much.
So much. But, you know, we capturing new viewers now. We capturing new mindsets, new entrepreneurs. And they might not have sat through all the other episodes, you know? I've been studying our episodes. And, you know, some people might not have sat through all the beginning episodes, and they might have missed some of the value that was really happening. And I'm telling you exactly what she just said. Because you think you got to handle everything yourself. You think you have to grind, especially when you feel like you don't trust anyone with your idea. Especially in that early phase, you want to do everything yourself.
No, don't touch that.
You want to do everything yourself. You want to make sure that you handle all of the things because it's so easy to get trapped in that. You know, that solopreneur vibe. But if you hear, you know, Lyric, come here, because you know better than anybody else. You know better than anybody else. Come. You actually gonna be a part of the episode since you want to be.
Wow.
Us. You here with us today. Come. Hi. Say hi.
No, I want to say hi.
You don't want to say hi?
No.
They need to hear your business experience.
I want to hear my.
You're the biggest boss.
Business.
Exactly. And you don't do everything yourself, do you?
No, I do not.
You let mommy handle what she needs to handle, right?
See?
But you not to let me do body hats.
Exactly. And that's why when you got to get stuff done, you make sure mommy does what she needs to do, right?
Right.
Because you're going to take that nap, right?
No, I did not.
You're not going to take the nap? Oh, you're a boss, baby. You're right. My bad.
She don't nap.
She don't nap. She handles business, okay?
And you did see it, and you just, and he's following me. It's radiation and to yourself.
And that's welcome to our show. Thank you.
How about the radiation in this house?
All right. And so that is exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey, Mommy, don't tell me. Don't tell me. No, Mommy, no.
All right, Ricky. You gotta
Say
go back over
bye.
there. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, go over there.
So we've had our special guest feature. No, not over that way. No, not that way. Over there. Back to you. You gotta go back to your executive chair, okay?
All right. So the main thing that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks is that you have to find. Can you hear me? Oh, you have to find your tribe, right? That's like one of the main things. Being able to find your team. What I realized over time was I stayed consistent in what it was that I was doing. and was able to create space that was comfortable for people to feel like they needed to support me, right? So a lot of the teams that I've built over the years were mainly based off of just like me being consistent and doing, what it was that I wanted to do and doing it well, and people wanting to be a part of that in some sort of way. So they came in and they learned, they left, they stayed, and that's all from just being consistent in what it is that you do. So you can only get but so far to a certain level on your own. But once you start feeling that ceiling, it's like that's your breakthrough. When you're looking for what's going to be, are you okay? So please stop. It is very hard to juggle being an entrepreneur, a podcaster, and a parent at the same time.
All in one, I tell you
got
that.
this.
I got you. I tell you, it is a lot. And that's exactly why we don't do everything ourselves, okay? Because between being all of the things that you have to do outside of your life, some of y'all are parents, some of you guys have family members you take care of, some of you guys have 2 and 3 jobs. You having to deal with all of that stuff yourself is too much. It is just too much, and it's not going to get you in the space that you need to do, which is effectively running your brand, effectively telling your story, and effectively communicating your offer to your clients. And so with that, we're going to get into the third myth. My third myth is you must be everywhere to win, right? We live in this age now of social media platforms being giants, being staples in our lives. We got the Instagrams, and growing up back in the day, you did just hop between platforms, and you always still hop between platforms, but they weren't such vying for your attention. TikTok wants to keep you on TikTok. Instagram wants you to doom scroll on Instagram. Facebook wants you to be arguing with all your friends and family and people in the comment section. I don't even know what Snapchat wants you to do anymore. I guess watch their stories. I don't know. I don't be on Snapchat. But showing up on every platform and every algorithm has its own needs that you have to cater to. That kind of burns you out, especially if you're not a full-time content creator. If that is not your brand, if you're selling a product or you're selling a service and you're using these tools as your marketing, showing up everywhere just going to burn you out. Picking a platform or 2 platforms or whatever, how many amount you can handle. I'm not going to talk about your capacity. I don't know what your capacity is. You might have been growing up on the internet your whole life and you've been eating these platforms up and you can handle 2 or 3 or 4. But to spread yourself so thin by trying to cover all your bases without a social media team, without the right people in your corner or the right systems to proclaim actual mastery over these platforms, it is going to kill you. I'm telling you. For me, our 2 platforms that y'all gonna see us go is YouTube, because that's where you're gonna find us for all of these long form videos, all of these episodes. It's YouTube. And secondly, you're gonna find us on Instagram, because that's what I know. And Instagram is my favorite. Favorite is a stretch, but it is my most versed platform. And so that is the 2 that we're going to show up on. Because everything else, I could be learning X, I could be learning Twitter, I could be learning Threads. And I will get into those things for the purpose of learning how they work. But to set ourselves up to try to start tweeting and vining and this and that and the third one, we're still trying to master the platforms that we are working on right now, we just drive our efforts away. As you can see, Dime has a lot on our plate. I have a lot on my plate. And to do that would just draw us away from what we really need to do. And that is something we want to show you so that you can see it through us. Is that we're going to pick the platforms, we're going to master those platforms, and then grow. Because everything else is just going to take away from it.
Okay, I'm back.
And so I want you to talk about myth number 4.
All right.
Which is viral views matter more than conversions.
It's just like, what's the point? That's how I feel, honestly. What's the point? If something goes viral, the goal, in my opinion, would be to convert that into dollars. There's no other reason to go viral. If your whole purpose on social media is just to be popular, then cool. But if your goal is to become a content creator as a job, then the whole reason to go viral is for the conversions. Either conversions into maybe your YouTube channel, if you are a YouTuber, to your streaming channels. You want to convert people off of, social media or wherever they saw you go viral at, into a different space where your business is controlled. Then that would make all the sense. But otherwise, if the whole purpose is just view count, then there is really no point. We're probably not talking to you.
We're not talking the right thing. Because you know what I like? It gave me a great point. Y'all people that's over here chasing all these views, you know what I got for you for your bills? I got some exposure.
Right.
Cause exposure gonna pay these bills, right? Exposure gonna, you're gonna show up to your landlord and be like, yo, I got a lot of exposure this month.
But don't take that to mean that you cannot take opportunities that are for exposure, so to speak, when you are starting out. Because
that's not exposure. That is marketing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
Because that has a value to it. Exposure is just, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
We don't need exposure. We don't, listen. This is New York. People don't expose themselves way too much, okay? We need less exposure and more conversions, okay? Yeah. That's what I need you to hear. That's what I need you to see. That's what I need you to understand, okay? Because yes, as you talking about, of course there's opportunities. Of course there's opportunities to get your story told. There's opportunities to showcase your platform. And those things might come with not a monetary cost to it, whether a monetary gain to you or a monetary cost to put out.
Right.
But that is not exposure, because exposure just means you did something and you won't be able to see, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we're not doing none of that.
Yeah. And a lot of things that you are not saying no to are for exposure.
Exactly.
So that's why we are going to start saying no more often, okay? So that we can X out on all the unnecessary exposure.
Getting all of that exposed.
Yeah.
Listen, you overexposed at this point, bro. And also on another point to that, metrics do matter, right? You want to get your views up, right? You want to get more eyes on your product or service. Right. You want to get more eyes on your offerings, and so views are important. But views can't be the only metric that you're searching for. Views can't be the only thing that's driving your business engine, because you can't just sell people on views unless you're an advertising platform. And again, the way how Instagram and these platforms have limited the creators' reach because they want to sell the ads, why would somebody go to you if they could just pay Instagram? If they're really going to be exposure. Now, again, we're going to talk about the value of user-generated content and other things later on. But for right now, for your business, views can't be everything. Right. And I'm not even jacking it. We're not even going to let it pass that.
Yeah. Realistically, that wasn't it. I don't think that that's in question. I think it's more so just like putting it over the concept of converting it into something else,
Also, a great point about this. Stop just doing things for views just to the point of doing it, right? No matter what you do, it got to tie back to the story you're telling, right? So if you want to make viral dance videos and you cook in the kitchen, if you want to dance and cook, cool. But if your page is now a bunch of dance videos outside and I haven't seen you touch a kitchen in like 7 videos, I forgot what you did.
Yeah, and that's the people. That's anybody that was already, because I feel like I can't even hear myself.
No, you couldn't. Now you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's for the people. That's more so the people that were already exposed to your platform. You got to remember that new people are finding you every day. So you have to remember to show up as the person you want to be perceived as every day. You have to do it again and again and again. It doesn't have to be the same recycled content, but it does need to be clear what your offer is and what your brand is outwardly, right?
Mm-hmm. And so you should be tailoring your content with your buyer in mind. When you're thinking about your content that you're going out there and you're making reels or things that you want new people to see, what do you want to show up as? What do you want people to come to know you as? When you're designing your stories and things that people follow you see, how do you want to retain their attention? How do you want them to remember you? You got to think about these points in the journey of your social media journey, because you got to think about it from someone experiencing you through social media and not just making content for the purpose of making content.
Right.
Because again, if I started, and I understand this because this is something I had to do myself as a multipreneur. You come on my page, and again, this is why I have just a Vijano page and everything else has their own brand page.
Yeah.
Because I got tired of trying to niche down when I like to niche up, right? You get travel content one day on my page, then the next day we racing motorcycles. You're like, huh? And now we getting Maker Mogul stuff. And all of a sudden I'm hosting cannabis stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm at the Spada next week. And it's like, what the is he doing? But I'm a mogul, so I'm allowed to do all the things.
Right.
You don't do that because
as long as the brands are clear, I think that is the most important part. I spent a couple of years just focusing on recreating what I was marketing and where, because I found that all of my companies, all of the brands that I manage and deal with, I was the common denominator. So I was pushing out all the marketing and all of the offers, everything would have to go out from my page to get the numbers and then try to like push it back into where it was supposed to be instead of just growing from each one and branching out.
Yeah, that's something I had to learn as well. That's something that, in fact, is so much of an easier journey to do backwards, to build the brand so that people know that brand and know that brand of you, because that is one of my favorite things now, not gonna lie. That's why you gotta kill a myth, because that's such a great myth. Even if you are a multipreneur, if you curate your audience well for one thing, it feels so good when you walk into a room and people who know you for one thing know you only for that one thing, and people for another thing only, and
know
they
you
like,
for that one thing.
They like, wait, we talking about the same person,
right?
And I love
like,
that.
He does that too.
Like, I know VJ who be a travel agent, man. Travel agent. VJ do cannabis stuff. Cannabis. I thought VJ hosts Making Moguls. Making Moguls. I do D&D. I never heard of none of that.
Right. That's dope though. Like, I love it, but definitely make sure that however you're pushing it out, it makes sense.
And so we're gonna get into this next one, right?
It's kind of
it's gonna lead into this. It's gonna lead into this because these is the myths, right? That when you're coming up, they tell you, you got one offer that's not strong enough. You need two. You need four. What if you add this to your thing? What if you add this section and then the subsection and then the cross section? More offers does not equal more income, bro.
Right.
Just cause. First of all, gone is the days of the general store. Okay, we don't live in 1764 or 1674. Gone is the general store. You know what the general store is now? Amazon. Okay, and you can't be Amazon. Not to say you can't build a platform, but you can't be Amazon. You understand? Amazon will not let you be Amazon. Okay, they will take you out. They're not playing. So with that being said, make sure that you're not sprawling yourself. And I'm telling you this because these is myths that I fell for, bro. I used to have, you want to come to VJ? VJ was the one-shop stop. You needed, especially when I used to do artist management, I'll tell you this. I used to have the recording studio. Then we had the marketing. I had the design. I had this. I had that. And it was good. But you know what that did? That just gave me more mouths to feed.
Yeah.
That just gave me more things that I had to figure out to market and all of this stuff. And it just confused people because people was like, wait, well, what do you do though?
Right. And then the budget is super stretched.
Yeah, now my budget, now the $20 I could have put for one thing, I gotta spread $1 across 20 things to get it off. I'm telling you, it's the confusion. It gets so confusing, bro, and especially when you're starting to establish yourself, right?
Yeah.
You want people to know you for one thing, and that is one thing I've learned, even as a multipreneur. I'm gonna coin that phrase. A multipreneur.
Multipreneur.
All right, or a slash. That's what they like to call it in the highbrow society. Even as a multipreneur, I like to take my time to whatever it is I'm in right now to establish myself in that, so people can recognize. Like when I was doing travel, and even right now when I'm doing travel, I don't promote, other than making moguls for real, I don't promote nothing else while I'm in travel season. So when people are like, oh, I think of travel, I think of VJ.
Yeah.
Right? Then cannabis season hit. Unless it's cannabis travel, I'm not promoting nothing but cannabis. So when cannabis come up, now I'm thinking of VJ.
That makes sense.
You feel me? And I'm in a season in a way that is really focused on that, so people know that I'm in that journey and I'm committed to it, because I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want to call VJ for a flight because he over there doing shows. And I don't want to call him because of this, because I don't know if he busy, because he nah, we're not being confusing. Too much, the offer sprawl gets crazy. People start not understanding you, and then they just go to somebody they're gonna trust for that one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair. I think that I struggle with this myth because I do so many things, and my main focus, so to speak, was events for so many years. So it's like, yeah, I got that down pat and can move on to other things, but I have this habit of moving on to multiple things at one time. When I'm ready to move on to something, it's like I've never been the, oh, you got to do one thing at a time. I do believe, though, that if you are to do more than one thing at a time or focus yourself on something, you do want to become your best at it. You want to become an expert in that field before you can offer it as a service, or before you can really extend yourself out to accommodate people for that thing. Just keep in mind that if you're doing more than one thing, you're going to have to focus on being able to do that. You know, your attention is split. So it's very hard to do something like that. If you are a person who cannot multitask, so to speak, has poor time management skills, procrastinates a lot, those sort of things, it's really not a good idea to do that.
That too, and I will say, hold on, and this is part of this myth. I kind of want to bust this too. We, in 2026, we aren't just chasing our passions, okay? Because that'll get you wound up in the emotion of everything and not thinking clearly, right? Yes, passion is important, and passion projects are important. But if we're being entrepreneurs, we're thinking dollars and cents, we're thinking skills-wise, okay? It's not about your passion, it's about your skill. What skill am I most valuable in presenting? Then, from there, your offers can trickle down based around that skill set, all right? Give you an example. Here I am in Making Moguls. Now, Dime and I, we good at marketing, business management, business consult. We got all of these offers that we could throw at you, right? But then people are not going to come with us for anyone because we got so much going on.
Just confused.
So we're going to offer business structuring, we're going to offer marketing advice, and we're going to offer business funding. You see that? Simple, concise, clear messaging. You know what it could come to us for. It's either you structure your business, get your business out to a bigger platform, or get the funding you need to support your business in its growth.
That's it.
Everything else, we could deal with at a later time.
Yeah.
Everything else, we could deal with at a later date. But it is clear to you what you need from us. It's clear to us what we present to you. Versus me telling you here, if you need me to host, I got you. If you need an event space, I got you. If you need somebody to design your flyers, I got you. If you need somebody to set up your order,
Yeah, we ain't doing all that.
I could. I'm skilled at every single one of those things.
We're just not.
But I ain't gonna do them right now.
We're just not doing
because
that.
you just gonna be mad confused. Make your offer simple. Make the ladder make sense. If you want to add a product or service in 2026, add a product or service. But make sure that it puts you in a position to expand on your expertise. Expand on what your customers know you for. Or pivot in a direction that takes your brand in a way that expands upon what your customer already knows about you.
Yeah. And that really all goes with brand alignment, because what I can say about the fact that I do so many things at one time, everything outside of the ice cream company aligns. Everything aligns. I started out doing marketing. I did music marketing for a long time while I was doing the events. So it's natural that I would still offer that sort of service, right? When it comes to the studio brings everything that I do into one central space. And it's a project on its own, right? So somebody they may come in for a shoot or some sort of marketing campaign that I've directed or put together, right? At the same time, they see the space. Oh, I want to book it. So it aligns. It's all in one line of something. And then I just had to jump out the window with ice cream. I couldn't help myself. So if you have offers that align, just make sure that everything makes sense. That I feel like I need a shirt that says "Make it make sense," because that is literally the one thing that I'll say all episode, all day, all week, on live, offline, it don't even matter, because it has to make sense. If it does not make sense, you're thinking about it too much, it feels like you're forcing it, you feel like you're doing too much, then it's not aligning and it does not make sense. So you may need to revisit it at another time, but focus on the things that's making you money, focus on the things that are putting you in position, and you will win.
Okay. Number 6. This one. This one.
Oh, we've come a long way. All right.
I want you to hold my hand when I say this. Okay, this is especially for you new people into the business. I want you to hold my hand when I say this. Okay. Mm-hmm. The myth of you having to start cheap to earn your way up. We throwing that out in 2026. Okay, we throwing that all the way out in 2026. If I found it in my pocket, I'm throwing it out. Okay, look. You see this empty? We throwing it out. Throwing it out in 2026. It's gone.
Yeah,
gone.
Please.
Okay, because
we talked about this the other day too.
We did, but now we're gonna really get into it, because I understand, as somebody that been in the business before, I understand.
Man.
I really feel it in my chest. Because I know them days when I had the fear of charging my worth. Mm-hmm. The fear of somebody being like, but what do you have to offer? Mm-hmm. Right? When somebody be like,
table.
oh, but why should I hire you? And feeling like I had to prove myself.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
First and foremost,
go ahead.
You know what made me burst this myth for real? Other than like actually going through it in life and realizing that is a bullshit. Mm-hmm. We elected a president. And I'm going to just say this one, not once, but twice. Who ain't have no experience. So if you can elect the most powerful man with no experience because we think he's going to do a good job because he talk a good game, why am I charging like I'm an intern? Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why? If people got the audacity to show up, never doing a thing and got all their opinions, why am I afraid to charge good prices? Because first and foremost, we're gonna get into why this happens, right? Because I feel it. When you start off your business, you start personal, right?
Of course.
Start with your family and your friends, right? You expand into those circles, and those circles come with the most anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? Because now these are people's opinions you care about, right? And you want them to feel the value, right? But their value is placed in you, the person, and not anything that you're doing. Your friends is going to be your friends regardless if you make it in business or not make it in business.
Yeah.
In fact, they'd probably be your friends if you didn't make it in business more than if you did make it in business, because you got to change a lot to grow in business.
Yeah, facts.
And you know, when we coming up, the first thing we get hit with is that homie discount. Feel me? Like, oh, I see you doing your thing, Brody. I see you doing your thing. Oh, you selling that hat for $100? Let me get it for $50. Let me get it for a quick 2.5, bro. Come on, you know me since middle school.
And it don't even matter like what type of business you have. If somebody think that they gonna get it from you for free or for a discount, they asking for it. And it's just like, if they have the audacity to ask for it, why you don't have the audacity to ask for what you want? Like, what? I had a conversation yesterday, right? You would be so proud. So proud of me. So I had a conversation yesterday, and this is a call that I've been trying to get on for like 2 months now.
Okay.
We've been playing phone tag. It just hasn't happened. But we get on the phone yesterday, and me and this person are supposed to be working on this huge project together. He was telling me about some other side project with somebody that he wants to bring me in. You know, he's telling me about to potentially bring me into. And I was like, it sounds great. This is my feedback. Da, 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 da. I was like, but I'm going to tell you that right now I am officially in the season, the era of I cannot do it if there's no price tag attached. So I get it. You know, maybe y'all have not worked with me before, but you've seen my value. You already know what it is. I'm not doing it for free. You know, I don't have those type of conversations. I don't never say that. But it's real because you feel,
the fuck.
You know.
Hold on. We cheering for those, baby.
Yo, no, for real, baby. Because at the end of the day, it's like after you've really established yourself, it's just like, at what point do you force people to treat you the way you earn to be treated?
And that's it right there. So now we go, boom. Body shots, baby. Because I really need you to understand, right? Again, back with your family and friends. They are not your target audience.
No.
Nobody got rich selling nothing to their moms and their pops and their cousins and their sisters, unless their cousins and their sisters was like Michael Jordan. And then you could be like, okay, Michael Jordan buys all my stuff.
Right.
But that's not your family member. That's not your customer base, bro. So stop. Trust me. You want your friends and family to support you, but that is not what being a mogul is about.
Yeah.
Nobody became a mogul, and you're not here on Making Moguls if you was making a friends and family business. You would not be looking up 20 myths to break in 2026. If that's what you was looking for. And I'm saying that but with all this passion because you have to break out of that mindset. You gotta move past those people. And I tell you, the best part about moving past those people is when you show up as your authentic self, people have to meet you there. So yes, when you're dealing with their friends and family, it gets intimidating. Oh, I want to charge this. Oh, I don't know. And again, I felt that because not only on a friends and family discount, but I've had times when I'm like, damn, this is what my offer wants. But I don't think my community could afford it.
Right.
I don't think the artists that I work with. And I'm like, wait. So why am I targeting these artists?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I lower my value. You know what happens when you lower your value? You do more work for less. And remember what we said, more hours does not equal more money. We said that we're not going to spread ourselves thin. Okay? So with all of that and said, we are not doing that shit at all because I'm telling you, you get caught up selling yourself short and people are just going to take you for it. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you know what? You're not getting your value. Let me give you more.
And let me tell you something too. It's crazy because there's a whole like offset of that same concept, right? Think about the fact that if you charge too low, there are a lot of people that's not going to come to you. Charging lower does not mean that, oh, well, more people can afford me, so they're going to pay it. No, there are a lot of people that's going to go, oh, well, he charges too low or she charges too low, so the quality is probably not there. I went through that with doing hair because I was charging mad low, like under market rate. Like people are charging $200 for $200, $300 for knotless, and I was still at $100, $125, mad low. Talking about, oh, you know, if I can at least get this many clients, and the client base didn't grow because my price was too low. Once I brought my price up, people started booking again because they're like, oh, okay, I now it makes sense.
I tell you, my favorite example. When McDonald's or Burger King, one of them came up with the nuggets, like 10 nuggets for $1. And everybody was like, whoa, bro. What the hell did you put in these nuggets? Because ain't no way you could sell 20 nuggets for $1, bro. That's not nuggets no more, bro. I don't even want to eat that, bro. Yeah. And that's what you do when you undersell yourself, bro. Again, I understand that you don't want to overprice yourself, but you got to remember that Gucci goes on the shelf at $4,000, okay? And the only reason Gucci goes on the shelf at $4,000 is because they developed a brand that meets you at the door at $4,000. That's why they can have because if Gucci said, yo, this shirt is $20, but 2 years from now we gonna put it for $4,000, you're gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? I'm not doing that. But again, if you show up, this is my price, this is my rate, this is exactly what we doing. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We not letting it slide, right? We not letting it slide. Exactly. That is, you heard that? You heard that? She's excited
She'll let you know.
about not underselling this year, right?
Right.
Exactly, okay? And so we going to move on to our I loving this, and I hope that you understand.
You decided?
Yep, that's exactly what we saying. We not underselling ourselves. We marketing ourselves properly, and we giving them the price the right way the first time.
Yes.
Tickling you, exactly.
Take a break.
All right.
Come, baby.
I'm gonna we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. I got you. We're gonna bust all these myths and tickle them all out. And so, with that, we're gonna go into the next one. And the next one I'm gonna talk about is we here on social media. We here on all of these platforms, and we watch these people with these great followers. And when we watch them, we look at them and we say, you need a huge audience to make real money. Cap. First and foremost, the most money I've ever made from social media came from not doing anything on social media. Somebody booked me on social media, but they booked me for the value that I provided and not for the following that I had. Anytime I tried to use my following as a reason to make money, not to get in the door. Of course I can use it to get in the door. But if I'm using my following, my vanity metrics, as we talked about before, as a way to make money when who I am is the value that I provide outside of that, I'm fighting a losing battle. Mm-hmm. Most people make more money by scaling down and having high ticket offers to target the few people, because it's better to have one person paying $1,000 than trying to find 1,000 people to pay $1. Ricky, no. We're going to play it in a little bit, okay? Because we're not going to knock them on down until we knock down all the myths, okay? All right. And I'm telling you that there's so many ways to make money, to make real money, by showing value to the right people. And even more, I'm going to bust this myth even harder, because there's so many content creators with millions of followers and they broke as shit.
And they ain't got no money. None.
They broke as shit.
None.
I don't watch content creators and chase value. And all they're doing is actually chasing clout. All they're doing is, I don't watch content creators with millions of followers throw the same event that we throw. Mm-hmm. and flop on it because they have no business acumen, because they don't know how to run a proper event.
They going viral and prioritizing that over conversion.
So they don't. So when the people actually come to the door, they have no structure for them. They have no nothing for them, and people want to walk the hell out because they're like, "What the hell is this product?"
Yep.
The virality don't mean nothing if you don't have an actual business, an actual product to put forward. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, there's so much you can do starting small. Targeting your communities, targeting the right people is so much better than blanket marketing. I'm telling you, I would rather give me a room of 10 people who are primed for what I have to sell than give me an audience of 1,000 random people.
You take them.
Just take that. Exactly. That's exactly what I would do. I would take 10. Just 10.
But the 10 cities.
And the 10, yep, the 10's going to turn into 30. That's exactly what it's going to happen. Because the right people is going to take what I have to offer and put it in the right places.
Right.
Versus the 1,000 people that just on the subway, you feel me? I'm just standing on the subway talking to 1,000 people. 40% of them can't even afford what I'm selling. The other 30% don't even live in the area that I'm targeting. 20% of these people just wanted to go home and go to sleep. Yeah. And there's one motherfucker yelling at me to shut up.
Yeah.
So, like, again, what are we talking about here? It is not about your audience size. It's about the value of your audience. And you only create value of your audience, one, by having the right audience. Two, by understanding that your audience matters in retention, in support, in development of your journey, and not just in raw numbers. There's so much. I'd rather have 10 members that pay monthly for my service. Exactly. 10 members that's going to pay monthly.
You gotta say the words.
Exactly. You got to say the words. 10 members. Then I had 100 people that wanted to shop with me one time.
People.
Because that 10 members that shop with me every month is going to pass 10 months. At some point. I mean, if they shop with me regularly, it's going to pass 10 months on the 11th month. If we're really doing math. If we can count.
Right.
If we can count. If we can't count, we're not on Making Moguls. Okay. You should be on YouTube Kids. But on the 11th month, you should have surpassed the same 100, and they're going to continue to surpass. Versus that 100 people that gave you one purchase, they never come back again.
Right.
So it's about creating value. It's about creating that space where people can really connect with you. Because an audience that connects with you is so much better. One time, I'll never forget. One time.
What time was sex?
It did. It really did. Because one time, this person had over like 10 million followers.
You gotta write the words for
Ricky.
I got you, okay? And so one time we had somebody, they had over 10 million followers on Instagram. This is back in Underground Concert Series days. I paid them for 3 promoted posts or something. Because of their general content on their page, yes, they promoted music and stuff, but I think we got like 10 followers from it. They have 2 million followers. 10 followers from it. Because their audience cared about them.
Right.
They didn't care about what we had to promote.
Right.
But I'm like, 2 million followers, the math won't even out, I ain't get nothing from it.
Yeah.
But I've also had content creators who have less than 500 followers, but because they did a proper video, a proper explanation of the UGCS, a proper collaboration, we got hundreds of followers from it because the value that they created value for both of our brands. Exactly. And I was excited to see. I was very excited because from 2 million followers, I got 10 followers. From 100 followers, I got almost 100 because of the value that was created. I'm telling you. And so you really need to do that. You really need to realize that the value is not just on your following count, but in the way that you activate and celebrate with your audience. And so for this last one, this one is gonna be a real sweet one, because this one is gonna touch on the heart of all the people that's just starting up. Right? That's really, and I understand this one because I really felt this. Because I'll tell you something about me. I started off wanting to be a consultant, right? I started off wanting to help other people. Yes. And I wanted to be right in the mix. Because I thought I had so much to help people grow and to help people learn. And I just got squished right in the middle because I thought if I wanted to be a consultant, I had to look like Mr. Wall Street. I had to sound like Warren Buffett.
Right.
Or like, damn, I forgot that guy, Gary V. I had to sound like those people.
I was about to say,
to be taken seriously.
Gary V is the anomaly. Like,
I was gonna say he don't sound.
He
like
don't count. He don't sound like none of them people.
But even that, they was like, if you're not gonna be a this person, you gotta be a that person. And I'm telling you to tell you, you don't gotta look like or sound like anybody. Bro. Especially in 2025, because first 2026.
2026.
Yeah.
Thank you for drilling it into my head, because I'm stuck in last year, and this is why we need to leave it. This is why we need to leave it in last year. Okay? This is why we need to leave it in last year.
Right.
Because ain't no way we letting people get on the internet with just pure audacity and no kind of credentials, no kind of even understanding of the topic, just pure connection with a camera, and they leading everybody astray just off of words. And you feel like you gotta look like or sound like somebody to be taken seriously. Ain't no way. Because if you know how to tell your story in 2025, people will buy into your story before they buy into anything else. People not looking about you. Again, you're not applying for a job.
Right.
Is it a job that you need to show your degree? I'm not saying this, obviously, if you have a specialized craft, you get your goddamn degree or your certifications. That's what I'm talking about. Please don't clip this and then try to be like, don't do that. We're not going viral like that in 2025. Matter of fact, go ahead, clip my shit, because I'm going to be up here talking about y'all next week. So play with me. Play with me if y'all want to. But in the meantime, ladies, if y'all in a male-dominated field, y'all don't need to sound and look like any of these men to be taken seriously. Creatives, if you in these spaces and you're producing your art, you're producing your works, you don't need to be like, hold on. They gotta hear this. Trust me.
But I gotta hear this.
So you gotta listen. You can't pretend, if you want to be a rapper, that you need to sound like any other rapper that's been there before. Yes, you study the grades to figure out what works. But you need to be you. Showing up authentically is exactly what we need in 2026. Because this, first and foremost, in the age of AI, why are you still trying to be somebody else, bro? If you really want to be somebody else, take AI to make you somebody else and save us all the time and the effort. But if you really want to be in this, right, Ricky? If you really want to be in this,
Yes.
you got to show up as yourself.
Okay.
As your own self.
On myself.
Exactly. You can't pretend to be nobody else.
But I tend to be anybody else.
Exactly. Cut it out. Authenticity is what's winning. I've gotten so much more gigs, bookings, clients, showing up as Vijano, the person who does what you see I do now, than I did showing up as somebody who was supposed to be the next big consultant or the next this or the next. Nah. I just show up and talk what I need to talk. And it's because of that people are like, nah, he really does this. I don't need to try to prove myself to nobody. Because the right opportunity will prove itself to me. And I just need to show up.
Exactly. I feel like For me, I'm ooh.
That was authenticity. And I hope somebody clipped that because that was crazy, girl.
Oh my God,
That's
Ricky.
crazy.
I think that I'm one of those people that for a long time felt like a lot of my success would scale or improve or get better like once I decided, hey, let me wear some heels and a dress and some makeup. But that was never me, right? So me showing up authentically as myself in the way that felt most comfortable to me, but still pushing the boundaries and being the risk taker and being consistent and doing the things that I was doing, I still saw success. I was still able to, bring my vision to reality. And at no point, since then have I felt like people didn't take me seriously because of the way that I look. I think that is like one of it's definitely a myth, but it's definitely one of those things that holds a lot of people back in that way that they feel like they have to be perfect or they have to mirror whoever they look up to or, something like that just in order to start. And you just have to start. Like, it has nothing to do with how you look. It does have to do with how you package yourself, how you package your offer, how you package your brand. Of course, definitely, focus on that. But as the human being, when you show up authentically, like I am authentically being strangled by my 2-year-old right now. You know what I'm saying?
Authentically.
Authentically. Like this is everyday real life. You get what I'm saying?
Us showing up authentically and we handling it regardless of what we gotta do.
It's so easy. It's so easy to make excuses to not show up. I think that was season 3's first episode, the power of showing up anyway.
We gotta rename that.
We have to rename it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have to rename it, but
that
was the essence of what the episode was about. The episode was about still like going through all of it. All of the issues, all of the storms and the turmoil, all of the stress and the strain of being a business owner and still having the strength to show up anyway and start doing our show again, right? So I think that it's so easy to just make a decision to not do anything or not to wait until it's perfect, wait until you have every single thing in place. And sometimes you just have to launch. You have to just do it. You get what I'm saying? But I definitely don't agree that it has to do with what you look like. There's a lot of bums out here making a lot of money.
Exactly. And I'm glad we here. I think we touched on a lot. So
now, for sure.
Real quick. Now, what's 1 to 3 things? I don't know how many things that we get to this list that you gonna stop doing in 2026.
Me. Whew. Okay. Yeah, thanks, because we went through a lot. I would definitely say, let me see. Oh, okay. 1, I would say you must be everywhere to win. I think I was out there when you were talking about that. I definitely struggle from a syndrome where I try to multiply myself and be everywhere at one time, and that I have to be in every room in order to see the success that I'm looking for. And that's not a thing. That's a part of my issue with saying no and choosing which opportunities are not the right opportunities for me, because I feel like every room is the right room simply because I'm trying to stay consistent. So I would definitely say that I'm going to work on the you must be everywhere to win. I also would say that I will work on the more offers, more income thing. I do a lot. I already actually started working on that. I do a lot, have a lot of stuff going on, but I am starting to scale back and identify what is working, because those are the things that I'm going to be focused on in the expansion into Florida and other markets. So yeah, the goal is not to continue to do everything. The goal is to systemize everything so that I am able to essentially recreate the knowledge that I do have, and work hard on scaling, on my own. And then I feel like that's maybe no. I would say, yeah, I think just those two. Those two are really good ones for me.
So mine on, I'm gonna get back to, you have to start cheap to earn your way up. I need to increase my pricing in 2026.
Okay.
I
could work on
I need
that.
I need to up my prices in 2026. Because last year, in a moment of transparency, I had my best year in terms of hosting cannabis festivals. I hosted 5 cannabis festivals last year.
Okay.
But last year, because I was expanding, I set my prices way too low and had to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody still owe me $100 right now. It's 2026.
Give me their number. I'm gonna get
So I need to get my money, and I need to up my pricing so that the value, because again, I've hosted enough now to know that the value that I create is not to be chasing people down to get $100 from my $400 payment. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like, we gotta up this money. So that's the first thing. And second is gonna be, do you have to grind on everything yourself? Because I have been learning that. Cannabis is a great, delegation lesson, because again, I'm not a woman, so I built a brand for women. I had to learn how to delegate and get the right people. But this year is really going to be about, I have a lot of businesses, and it's really going to be about staffing, finding the money to get the right people in the right positions, and not touching it if I don't. Because, again, I've spent too much time bouncing from thing to thing when I could be putting it all in the right place. And I do like to bounce from thing to thing. I'm not a type of person that likes to focus on one thing. But I can bounce between 2 things. I can bounce between 3 things and keep them centralized. I can bounce between one thing that has multiple subsets that keeps me occupied. And that will be the grind. And that will be what I'm focusing on. Everything else will be delegating, will be everything and automating. And I love AI way too much. And I'm at this point have way too many AI assistants to not put them to 100% of my capabilities. So I'm going to definitely be cutting down on that grind myself and starting to utilize my resources.
I'm telling you, you better.
That's gonna be my tool, okay? And we at that segment.
Man, it was so weird.
At that segment. So for those that don't know, we tried something new today. If you watch any of the other episodes, you usually start the show like a radio show. And we had a nice little segment in the beginning called Small Wins.
Yes.
Right? But we realized, and as we talked about learning your platform, learning your audience, this is YouTube. And we want to make sure that we give the value to the YouTube community, right? We don't want to show up and have y'all not understand that we're really trying to deliver this value. We got a lot of value, and we want to package it right. Yeah. So we're going to save the small wins for the end now. We're going to be ending off the small wins. And in fact, we want to contribute those that are actually serious, that's been through the episode with us, to contribute their small wins with us so that we can read them at the end of every episode.
Yes.
And shout y'all out.
We figured out how to get the chat working. So
we did figure out how to get the chat working. So that we'll be able to read them in, and also put up a little, a little box, a little questionnaire during the week or something. We'll figure out how to collect them. So that at the end of every episode, we're going to read the small wins.
Yes.
So what's your small win?
Okay. So my small win. We're coming off holiday. All right. I would say that my small win is that, you know what? Got you. So last couple of, I would say months, I've been waking up really late. And my like whole thing has been over the last like year or two just trying to wake up earlier and like, you know, get energized and start doing things. Start doing things.
Ooh, I got her.
You all right?
You know who's gonna be my friend? I got you.
I've been trying to like just work on being better as far as how I show up in the world. So a part of that is just, you know, taking better care of myself and, you know, waking up earlier and things like that. I realized lately that I eat super late. I eat super late at night. Ricky. We almost finished. We are almost finished. I've been eating super late, right? So what I started doing a little bit before the top of the year was I stopped eating so late. I'm still eating a little bit late. I'm working on it. Baby steps. But I've been waking up earlier the last couple of days. Okay. So that just gives me the time to be able to prep myself and get myself ready for the day and stuff like that before that wakes up. So, yeah, that's my small, big win.
Okay. My small win was this episode because me and Ricky, we handled that.
Oh, my God.
Yes, we did. And we did this episode, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Come here. Cause you gotta tell these people come here.
You gonna come say bye.
You can't not say bye. You've been a special guest.
Come.
This episode is featuring Ricky.
Now she don't even
okay,
come.
now
That's
she don't
crazy.
even want to come. Look at that.
See how she act.
Bring her behind, girl. But that's my small win because we got through this episode, and I hope y'all really enjoy it. I hope y'all really can really. I mean, I feel like we got a lot of clips. I definitely exciting moments this episode. Yeah. But we still packed a lot of value in it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I love about the platform that we've built and that we're building because it's real. Like at the end of the day, you know, it's easy to be able to be like, all right, you know, we go into the studio, we do whatever we do, and then we move on, go about our week. But just in these moments where it's like, you know, the baby running all over the place and jumping all over us, and there's so much going on, and us still being able to pack in that value and make sure that people are getting what they tune in for. That's all that matters.
That's a fact, Ricky. And guess what? We're gonna say bye to these people, right? I am Sir Vijano Alexander. They've been rocking with us all day. They've been rocking with you, even you're yelling in the microphone. They was here with us, right?
Right.
So we're gonna say thank you. We're gonna say like and subscribe. And boop, hit the notification bell. That's what I'm talking about, Ricky.
Yeah, it's your girl, Dom Smith. That's Dom with a Y, not an I. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, The Making Mogul Show. Like, comment, and subscribe, like they said.
Sir Vijano Alexander.
Yes.
And you either win with us
or you watch us win.
Say bye, Ricky.
Bye, Ricky.
All right, and we out.